Howdy y'all, my name is Gretchen. I'm the Restless Thrifter and I am a sort of full-time reseller right now. I have a lot of new subscribers since my last couple of videos and welcome. Thank you guys for stopping by. I really enjoyed all the comments that I've been getting and I welcome all feedback. So please feel free to leave me a comment below. If you're brand new and seeing me for the first time, think about subscribing. Watch this video, watch a few minutes, see what you think. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe or hit that notifications bell if you already are subscribed. I'm gonna give you a little bit of background about myself since there are some new subscribers. I live in Denver, Colorado, and I have been a part-time reseller just doing this as a side hustle for almost 2 years now. I am a full-time product manager for mobile and digital products. Now, that said, I am not doing that full-time right now because the last 6 months I was helping my mother through hospice care and helping my father transition into a life without her, because unfortunately we did lose her last month. So it's been a rough year. It's been hard. Reselling has been a great side business to have because I was able to still do that a little bit on the side while I was, in Texas, not even at my home. I moved my business down there. And so it's been good to have. I would love to take this full time. I just don't think it can replace the income that I need. Unfortunately, at this time, my business is not where I would need it to be. I would need to scale big time, and that takes time to do. So I'll probably go back to product management in the coming year. And if you're wondering what a product manager is, it could mean many things at different companies, but what I have done is lead the product development for mobile and digital products. Most recently, I was at a startup that focused on building publishing and marketing digital tools for nonprofits. And unfortunately, that startup did not continue, as a lot of startups don't, but it was the best place I've ever worked. Wonderful people, very small company of stellar talent. And I hope to find something like that again. Previously, I was a product manager at Travelocity and JCPenney. I've also been a project and program manager for many companies when I worked at mobile shops that are contracted out by companies to help build their products. And some of my clients were Pizza Hut, Animal Supply Company, IBM, PGA Tour, Mary Kay, can't forget that one, Qdoba, so just to name a few. And I've loved doing all of that. I've loved being in tech. I also really love reselling because it gives me some freedom and flexibility. It is a little creative, more so than some of my roles have been, especially when I was a project manager, but it also requires project management and product management skill sets. I'm also a dog mama, so you will hear and see my dogs at times, and I'm married and my husband is at work right now, so let's get this video going. I'm going to be going over my sales from November 15th through 21st, and I do this to reflect on things myself so I can know what I need to do to improve the next week, as well as helping resellers like you or people who are looking into getting into reselling know what they might be able to do in this type of business, what they might be able to make, what brands to look out for, things to not look for. So I will cover 3 categories. I go over my top 10 sales by profit. I'll go over fast flips, which is to me anything that sells in 2 weeks or less. And I'll go over lessons learned. So these could be bad buys, things I shouldn't have picked up. These could be things that I sold for too little or things that had major flaws. There's Reacher. It could be a number of reasons why I've put them in the lessons learned category, and I have these every week. There's never a week that goes by where I didn't learn something. He's looking for a treat. So the week of November 15th through 21st, it was not that great of a week. It was just a little bit under last week. And last week was a little under the week before that. But there are some really good reasons why. And I want to talk to you a little bit about lagging indicators. And this is my product management experience coming in. Lagging indicators are basically looking back on things that impacted performance or outputs for the current time period. And it's pretty easy to see why my sales weren't better than the week before. The week prior, my lagging indicator had been that I was on not vacation, but I was moving my business from Texas to Denver, and so I didn't have Poshmark or Mercari going, and my eBay store had a note that said I'd be shipping, delayed like within a week. And that was my lagging indicator for last week's performance. This week's performance is pretty easy for me to spot, is what I was listing the week before, or the amount of listings, new listings I put out. The week of the 8th through 14th, I only listed 11 items, because I was going to my mom's funeral and spending time with family and packing up my store and driving across the country, and I just wasn't listing. So that really impacted how much I sold this week. Now, I think that if I had listed the same amount, if I had been consistent, we would have seen an uptick this week, the 15th through 21st. We would have seen the uptick, but I didn't get that uptick because I didn't list. And so it was basically a wash. It's like me being back and not on vacation was offset by the fact that I didn't list. Next week, I'll have an excuse, and a lagging indicator, which is an excuse. Will be the holiday. Thanksgiving holidays, people are out in stores shopping. They're shopping great Black Friday deals online. And, the resale market's just going to be there. It's not offering them anything different this time period than it usually does. It still has great deals, but the retail market is offering really great deals that you can't get other times of the year. So they're going to be focusing their spending on that, and it totally makes sense. All right, enough business talk. We're just going to dive into what's sold. And my format, I'll go over this briefly each time too. I read you the title so you can see what keywords and things I'm using. I will tell you the number of days things took to sell, and I will tell you what platform it sold on, some sales details, and the price sold, the cost of goods, and the profit, so you'll know what actually went into my bank account as a result of these sales. And in reverse order, so from the lowest to the most of my top 10 sales, the first one is a Torrid plus size 18 crop denim jean bib overalls vintage stretch. Oh, dark wash, vintage stretch dark wash. This sold same day of me listing it on Poshmark through a customer offer of $30. I had listed it for $38. Someone sent the $30 offer, thought that was fair and took it. My cost of goods was $5.60 and my profit was $18.40. Quick side note, I sell a lot of plus size. I started into reselling, selling things out of my own closet. I saw the success with the plus size clothing, and so it's always the first place I go to in a thrift store. And so you'll see me sourcing a lot of that and selling a lot of it. Next item was the first time I had found this brand. It's Arc'teryx gray spell out logo trucker hat flex fit small medium cotton spandex. And this brand is an outdoorsy brand. I have heard it does really well, and so I've always wanted to find it. Finally found a hat. It did have some dingy spots on it, but when I looked up comps and sell-through rate, I saw that it didn't matter whether something was in perfect condition. So I picked it up. I got this at the Denver Bins. That's the Goodwill outlet. And this sold in 10 days on eBay through a customer offer. I had it listed for $35. They sent an offer of $29. I accepted. Total price sold was $35.12. That includes the cost of shipping. And I paid 88 cents. That was my average cost of goods at the Denver Bins that day. And my profit was $24.25. And I will be looking for Arc'teryx again. There's a little dinosaur-y lizard thingy as their logo, so keep an eye out for that. Next sale is a brand that used to do better, I am told. Robert Graham size 42R classic fit striped summer sport coat peak lapel 2-button. It's a really nice sport coat. I do love to pick up men's sport coats, but this took 204 days to sell. It sold on Poshmark through a customer offer counter offer situation. So first, I use a Chrome extension called Posher VA, and it automatically shares your closet, it sends out offers, and I have it sending out offers after 5 minutes of someone liking an item. If that item has been listed for, I think it's 24 hours or more, and it sends a 20% off offer with discounted shipping. So Poshmark VA had sent an offer of $80. The customer countered at $32. I thought about taking it. I mean, I had it listed for $100, so that's pretty low. But a few reasons I thought about taking it. One is Robert Graham doesn't sell as well as it used to. Two is this is a striped sport coat, and you will find that when something has pinstripes, people are really expecting you to have the pants as well for it to be a full suit. People don't tend to wear a striped sport coat with solid pants. This one was a little bit different. It had a peak lapel, which is a trend that's going on right now. A peak lapel with a 2-button, a single-breasted, is in fashion right now. Normally you see the peak lapel, which is like where the lapel kind of pokes out. You see that on double-breasted sport coats. So having it with a single-breasted sport coat is a trend right now. So that is one reason I picked it up. But I didn't have the matching pants. I was trying to imagine it with matching pants and I just couldn't. So I picked it up anyway, but I counter offered because I'm like 32 is just a little bit too low. I countered at 68. He came back at 41 and I took it. Still a little low, but I made a good profit. My cost of goods was about $8 and my profit was $24.80. Next sale was a lot of 2 pants, size 14 and tailor mid-rise, straight leg, navy, black, flat front. So I had a pair of navy and a pair of black. They were new with tags. And my sister gave these to me, so my cost of goods was $0. These sold same day that I listed them on Poshmark with a customer offer of $38. I had listed them for $45. My profit was $30.40. Next sale was a City Chic plus size medium/18 flutter wrap maxi dress, golden yellow semi-sheer. Medium/18 may seem odd because this is a plus size, but City Chic has vanity sizing, and so what they call a medium is their size 18. So this sold in 84 days on Mercari. Customer offered me $39. I had it listed for $52. They needed it by the next week, and I did notice that it hadn't gotten there as of today, and today's Wednesday, so I'm nervous for them. I'm very nervous. But they had sent me a message saying, how soon could you ship? Could you ship today? It was already late in the day. I'd already gone to the post office. So I said no, but I could send it out tomorrow morning. And I went into the listing and I changed it from FedEx Smart Post, because that is what I choose for anything over a pound on Mercari because it's cheaper. It's only $7.99. And I changed that to USPS priority mail because that would be shipping faster than the FedEx Smart Post. FedEx Smart Post is slow, I will tell you. Postal service is letting me down, man. I dropped it off that next morning and I don't think they even started tracking it till the afternoon. And then it didn't get to like the main center in Denver until the next day. And it is just slowly, there's no way it's gonna get there in the 2-day priority mail. So I hope it gets to her today or tomorrow. I really do. Anyhow, I accepted her offer of $39. I had paid $2.71 and my profit was $30.76. Next sale is something I picked up at a thrift city in Louisville, Texas. And when I picked it up, I paid $10.81. And when I got home and I looked, I was like, what was I thinking? Why would I pay so much for this sweater? I took a while to get it listed. I had picked it up in June, got it listed, and it sold in 5 days on Mercari. It's a Lacy Afternoon by Shell Kepler, size extra large cardigan crochet knit duster sweater. I picked it up because it's funky looking. It's fun and artsy, and I just knew someone would like it. I'm glad it sold quickly, and I'm glad it sold for $50. I had it listed at $63 and it was in the middle of smart pricing on Mercari. When the customer offered me $50, I took that. I had paid $10.81 like I mentioned, and my profit was $32.24. I don't think I had any comps to go by when I purchased this, so I was using my gut, so I'm really glad that my gut paid off this time. It doesn't always. Next sale, something that you've probably heard before. Milwaukee Tool Under Armour men's size medium, quarter zip, employee pullover loose fit. This sold a couple of weeks ago on eBay. It was returned to me because I mentioned it's a size medium and it is actually a size small. When I relisted it, I did not change the title to remove medium from it. And I did have it changed, you know, in the little drop down. I had selected small, but I forgot to change it in the title. So when this person bought it at full price for $40 on Mercari, I messaged him. I said, are you sure? Because this is a small and not a medium, and I realized I had a typo. And he said, yeah, I should be fine because it's a loose fit. And that's what it says inside. As the style as a loose fit, and I included measurements and everything. So, and I haven't heard back from him that there's any issues. So good. That was good. It sold in 27 days after listing it on Mercari. Now, also to note is that twice last week I had somebody send me an offer and then within a minute purchase something full price, and this was one of them. This guy had sent me an offer for $35. In a minute, he purchased it outright for $40. So I haven't actually seen it, but I think Mercari sends something to customers saying, hey, are you sure you don't want to just snag this or something? Because it's too coincidental to happen to me twice in a row. So it sold for $40. I had paid $1.54. That was my average cost of goods at the Dallas bins that day. And my profit was $32.80. Next sale is the other one that somebody had sent me an offer on and then purchased it outright on Mercari. It's a Ralph Lauren size 16, 100% silk skirt, maxi, dark academia, equestrian floral. This sold same day on Mercari for $44 and my cost of goods was $2.16 and my profit was $35.66. Gorgeous. It did have a run in the fabric, which I showed a couple of pictures of and noted it, but it was such a beautiful skirt. I loved the colors. It's perfect for fall. The silk was a really nice, heavy silk, and this was fully lined. But like I said, they sent me the offer and then they immediately purchased it right afterward. So if you're familiar with what Mercari is sending customers that encourages them to go ahead and buy the item, let me know, I'm interested. Next to last item in my top 10 is another City Chic. It's a City Chic plus size 22 in-twine maxi dress emerald bridesmaid wedding cocktail. The in-twine style is so popular. I've sold so many of them. This sold in 67 days on Poshmark through a Posher VA offer with discounted shipping. Okay guys, so if you have been watching my videos, you may remember this dress. This is the one with the magical evaporating stain. I will link that video below so that if you haven't seen it, you can hear all about this story about how this dress was returned to me on Poshmark for a stain that actually wasn't there. And it sold for $60. My cost of goods was $2.94 and my profit was $42.38. And then my best sale of the week last week was another sport coat. It's, oh gosh, pronouncing is going to be fun. Vitale Barberis Canonico? Vitale Barberis Canonico? Googling how to pronounce.
Vitale Barberis Canonico.
Isn't that what I said?
Vitale Barberis Canonico.
Vitale Barberis Canonico. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. That's the American pronunciation. Let's see if there's an Italian one.
Tale Barberis Canonico.
Sounds more Italian.
Tale Barberis Canonico.
Vitale Barberis Canonico.
Vitale Barberis Canonico.
That's probably what I sounded like. Okay, well, regardless, it's a really long Italian word, and the rest of the title is Super 150s Wool surgeon cuff, size 36 short, sport coat jacket. A couple of terms in there if you're not familiar with sport coats. Surgeon cuffs, that just means that it can be unbuttoned at the cuff. You know how sport coats have buttons? Mostly they cannot be unbuttoned. They're just there for looks. They call it a surgeon's cuff when you can unbutton those. I guess so you can roll up your sleeves and get to surgery. I don't know. And then the other thing is Super 150s wool. That Super 150s is describing the wool, and the higher the number, the finer and better the wool is. This took 202 days to sell. It sold on Poshmark, also a Poshmark VA offer with free shipping, and the sale price was $80. I had paid $8. My profit was $48.33. Is my husband home early? He must be. Let me try to get through this. All right, so now moving on to fast flips. I only had 2 other things that sold in 14 days or less. In my top 10 sales, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of my top 10 sales sold in less than 2 weeks. That was the Torrid overalls, the Arc'teryx hat, the Lot of 2 and Taylor pants, the Lacy Afternoon funky crochet cardigan, and the Ralph Lauren silk skirt. So the next fast flip was a Talbot's Petites size extra large British print shirt, Buckingham Palace Guards phone booth. Really cute print. I love to pick up novelty prints. This sold in 1 day on eBay. A customer accepted the offer that I sent them of $20.88. The total sales price was $25.15. I had paid $2.71 and my profit was $14.66. I do like Talbot's. The novelty print though is really why I picked it up. And my last fast flip is this Mighty Magnets construction set, 75-piece kit, building translucent colors NIB, which means new in box. And this sold in 13 days on eBay. It was a full price sale. With shipping, it was $20.27. I had paid 80 cents. That was my average cost of goods that day at the Goodwill outlet. And my profit was $6.02. I don't pick up a lot of toys other than plush, and I wouldn't have picked this up if this hadn't been new, like none of the little things had ever been taken out of the box. And I did look up comps just to see that things were selling. And I have 3 lessons learned, so 3 things I want to talk about that are items I wish I hadn't picked up. You're home early?
Apparently I'm in charge. Like, fuck it, we're shutting the off so early.
Well, I'm in the middle of recording. I'll be done here in a little bit. So why were you in charge? Okay, where were we? I think I was about to start on my lessons learned. And I'm just going to talk about 3 items today. The first one is a skirt. It's Worth soft suede leather, bright red, A-line, flippy, fully lined mini skirt, size 0. So a few things about this one. Worth retailed for a lot. I don't think it has high resale value though. This took 331 days to sell on eBay. I also noted it was a size 0, and those smaller sizes aren't as common, so they're going to take longer to sell at times. It's not that it's a bad size. It's not that you shouldn't pick up smaller sizes. Just expect them to take a little bit longer. So all of that was fine, but I think the third factor that kind of sealed the deal as a bad buy on this case was that there was a little bit of a flaw. There was a little bit of discoloration. Therefore, I sold this pretty low. A customer sent me an offer of 10. I had relisted this thing 7 times, so I accepted the offer. Total price sold was $17.96, and I had paid $3.80, and my profit was $2.92. The day that I picked this up, I remembered I picked up 3 suede skirts total, and I think all 3 of them had slight flaws in them, so I should have just been looking over things a little bit more carefully. And it really is a cute skirt, so I think the customer got a great deal. I just didn't make very much, but at least I had a profit because one of my lessons learned, I didn't. The next lesson learned was a Carhartt relaxed fit, size 38 by 32 jeans, broken in 100% cotton sturdy work pants. When I started reselling, I kept hearing how great Carhartt was and how well it sells, even when things are thrashed. I've not found that to be the case for me, so I'm picking things up that I'm just picking up the wrong things, I suppose. I also paid too much for this. So this took 221 days to sell. Sold on eBay through a customer offer of $15. I had relisted it 5 times, so I decided to let it go for that 15. The price sold was $24.59. I had paid $7.61. I made $2.22. So I'm just glad to have made a profit. My lesson learned here is pick up Carhartt at the bins. Sure, don't spend almost $8 for those. And then my last lesson learned, oh my gosh, this has been in my inventory for 595 days. Sold on Poshmark, and back when I first started reselling, I was only selling on Poshmark. So this had been on there over a year, and it's this Tarte Duster cardigan, size extra small, striped, split side, full length, lightweight sweater. I thought it was really cute. I remembered looking up the brand and seeing that this retailed for $140. I was impressed by that. I think this is a Nordstrom Rack brand because I'm not really that familiar with it. So I have since learned that Nordstrom Rack and even some Nordstrom brands are not great pickups just because of resale value. They're great to buy off the retail market if you want them, but they just don't have a great resale value. I had spent $4 on this. I sold it for $5. After fees and everything, I made negative $1.95. So I had listed this 11 times. So in my last sales update, somebody asked me what I meant by relisting on Poshmark. First, I use a tool called Vendoo to list and relist all of my things. I can cross post to multiple platforms through it. I love Vendoo. I love it for its analytics as well. So it's sort of my accounting software. I can export all the data and do what I need to do with it. Below, if you see in the description, I will have a way that you can get a discount if you want to try out Vendoo. But you can relist on Poshmark. I go into the listing and I create a copy of it. Scroll all the way to the bottom. It says copy listing. You create a copy and then make sure you edit and remove the title that says copied out of the title, and you publish that. And then you delete the old one. So you're really creating a whole brand new listing. So that's what I mean by relisting on Poshmark. I imagine you can probably do the same thing on Mercari. I haven't ever tried. On eBay, I know there's a end listing and sell similar process that a lot of people use. Sometimes I'll use that instead, but then I have to go in Vendoo and update my links. So I just really like to use Vendoo's delist and relist process. Okay, so I had other sales. Overall, I had 27 sales. Things took 139 days to sell. I want to get that somewhere around 90, so 3 months or less is my goal. But I understand some things are going to take longer, so 139 days on average is not bad. My total sales was $813.23. My cost of goods was $104.93. So after cost of goods and after fees and shipping expenses, my profit in the bank was $441.47. Not great, not bad. I need that to be at least $500, even as a part-timer, to make this really worthwhile. I need it to be way, way more if I were to take this full-time. So my average price sold for each item was $30.12. My average cost of goods for each item was $3.89. And then my average profit per item was $16.35. So when I have my IKEA bag full of, like, let's say 10 things, I can go, wow, that's $160 profit for that day. I can also go, oh my God, that's only $160 profit for that day. It all depends on how you look at it. That said, I am not averaging 10 items a day. No, I am not. If I were to look at my average for last week, it was 3.85, so 3.86. So we'll just round that up to 4. So 4 items a day is what I averaged last week. That's everything. Like I said, I don't think this week is going to be super great because of the Thanksgiving holiday. And also I think I'm sort of in purgatory from having my closets on hold still. It's like that takes a week, maybe 2, to really get over it and get back to normal, because I have been listing at least 12 items a day. I have been relisting at least 10 or 20, sometimes 50 or 60 items a day. And I've been cross-posting things like that were only on eBay, for example, to Poshmark and Mercari and Etsy, at least 10 a day as well for the last week. So I should be seeing an uptick here. I really should. I'm just ready for it. That's everything. Thank you guys. And like I always say, just keep listing. I don't have any treats. The bowl's empty. Okay, I have treats now and they know it. Sit. Good boy. Sophie's down here too. You can't see her. Sue. Here she is. This is Sophie. Sophie Sue, we call her. She is a blue heeler, or an Australian cattle dog. And she's the boss of here. Yes, she is. You would think he was, but no, he looks to her for everything. He tries to be the boss though.